Welcome, everyone, to Unsupervised Consequences. I am your host, Dean of the Genetic Marvel, and today we're just talking about being lazy. I started this a couple months ago with regards to documenting the process that I went through to go from over 450 pounds to under 290, which I'm sitting at right now. And now I'm discussing kind of the after effects of coming off that diet, of that way of eating, and now getting back on and trying to get everything rolling again. Thank you, honey. I appreciate that greatly. Um, she took that picture. That's why. So, with regards to everything, like today, I all this week I've been complaining that I haven't been able to fast. I've been intermittent fasting, but just doing like one meal a day, and that's about it, which has helped me stay stable, and still enjoy all of our activities because summertime everything's happening. But with regards to that, is it has put me in a situation where I haven't been feeling as good as I normally do. Let's be honest. So what I did was, knowing that, like, I woke up, I didn't feel good, went for a walk, still didn't feel good, went for a second walk, still didn't feel good. The question came up, what to do. Now, I made a post on Instagram where I explained that if the epiphany that I've had is that if there was a Olympic sport on laziness, I wouldn't just win, but I would send someone else to go get the medal for me. Um, and one of the key components, because a lot of people are like, well, you got to get out there. Yeah, I don't feel like getting out there. You got to do all this stuff. I don't feel like doing the stuff. I don't feel like doing anything today. And there may be elements of depression, the mood, just because like today it's all overcast kind of thing. All those things factor in. But for me, what I've uh, done my best, or tried to diligently do, was to use something like that, that for all intents and purposes, you'd look at and say, oh, that's definitely a weakness, and turn it into a strength. So today I was like, okay, you know what? We were discussing what to eat. I said, you know what? I'm just going to fast. I'm going to fast. I have stuff to do. I'm going to be going out right now to do some live comedy, which, if you're in the area, it's Lock Stock Cannabis, 8 Gladstone, downtown Toronto. So I'm going to be going there. That being said, I can use this by fasting uh, to kickstart my growth in the right direction, right? So instead of looking at things at a weakness, which realistically, not wanting to do anything is, for all intents and purposes, is a weakness, right? I would think that, and most people would think that. That's a reasonable conclusion to make. But by turning it on into a positive and a tool for me to use, you spiffy fishy. Thank you, Marco. Thank you. I appreciate that. What can I say? I like to be bougie. This I tried on a different suit, and it didn't just not fit. It looked like I was wearing uh, uh, just someone else's suit. Like, it was ridiculous. I was like, okay, I just got to wear a different suit because that's not going to work. But that being said, that was the whole issue, was that um, I had to flip it on itself. And by doing that, instead, I tried to get some activity, which I went for a couple walks, which was nice. It didn't work out because I just definitely didn't feel like working out. Um, I took an extra nap because maybe I didn't sleep well. And then I fasted. So I haven't eaten anything. I feel okay because I know that fasting is good for me, and all that kind of stuff. In the other suit, I looked fashion. That means, so in my wife's terminology, that means ridiculous. Okay. Marco, I'm in a pink Care Bear outfit right now. Well, listen, we both have our outfits to look fancy. That's, or as I like to call it, is my suit of armor, ready for war. Yours is a pink Care Bear outfit. If anything, you may be a spy. That's it's a very covert operative type outfit. But that is the key. And I put on a suit like this definitely for years, when I was a financial planner, was to my wife said this the other day and it stuck, and I hate that it stuck because it's a good saying, but it's also bad. Was, I may not know what I'm doing, but I'm going to look good doing it. And you know that's not the worst thing, and that's not the worst perspective to have, and I'm definitely feeling that today because I don't feel good. I don't feel good, I feel tired, I feel exhausted, I feel just garbage on every level, but it's about persevering and going through. And damn right. So, but that's the whole thing is that when you feel at your worst, um, the worst thing you can do is uh, give up on yourself. And I can't stress that enough because I said it earlier this week, Sativa. That may happen a little later. Um, but that's one of those things is that because I am going to a show at a cannabis store, so that's a very good chance that I'm just gonna do that. But realistically, it's those things that you only need one person to believe in you, and it'd be amazing if you just had yourself. It's one of those things where it seems ridiculous, where he's like, "Of course you believe in yourself," but we don't. We regularly don't. And taking what we feel as might be our ultimate weakness and flipping it into a positive or something to actually set us apart from what we're trying to do. Um, a lot of times, like we travel in packs and we belong to organizations where everyone stays together, and that's safety in numbers. And when you do something, when you feel bad, a lot of times you feel like you're getting left behind. But when you flip it on itself, you're not behind, you're actually further forward. And that's one of the keys I think that I've learned through this process is that nothing's really a weakness until you demand that it is one. Because if you stand there and say, well, that's where I failed, okay, no one's going to question you. No one's going to question whether you were right or wrong. They'll just agree and go, cool, all right, you're a failure. Cheers. But if you stand there and say, I think I used it to my advantage, people go, okay, cool. They'll accept that as well. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do here because nobody's perfect. I definitely promote that I'm fantastic and perfect and amazing in every way. Um, because I'd like to think that. And hell, why shouldn't I say that about myself? Right? There's a lot of people saying crazy stuff anyway. So I might as well be part of it. But, you know, believing in myself, I don't think is that crazy or ridiculous, especially when I can back it up with a reasonable argument and saying, if anything, I wanted to indulge, and I said, you know what? Instead of indulging, why don't I just take a break? And people say, well, you're not doing anything. That's the point. I don't want to do anything. I want to do nothing. So I'm going to do nothing at an exceptional level and use that to my advantage. Why not? So many times we try and stand there and say, well, I did this. And you know what? Yeah, I did nothing today. And if anything, I'm gonna come out tomorrow and I'm gonna have dropped probably like 6 pounds. Why? Because that's how it works, right? Now, is that how I want to live my life? Sometimes, yeah. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with standing there saying, "Hey, I need a break from things. I need time for myself. I need a break." Nothing wrong with that. I don't even do anything and I need a break. That happens. There's nothing to stand there and say that you don't deserve anything. This world isn't deserved. This world is earned, right? There has nothing to do with anything in this universe that stands there and says, well, you have a right to absolutely nothing. And that's, one of the things that I've been talking about this whole week was like having people around you that will do their best to support you is helpful, even if they don't. They're not perfect, or they don't know how to support you, but they want to be supportive. That's enough, right? Because the fact is that we are, for all intents and purposes, which I've said already a couple times, so I apologize for the verbiage, but um, you know, we're on our own. And as much as we may be around people and trying to do things with people, it's our own story. And we want to bring people with us and we want to have, there's no person alive who doesn't want a teammate or a partner or a business mate or partner in crime, whatever you want to call it. We all want that. And we can get really close to it. And a lot of times we'll have a spouse, we'll have a close friend, we'll have a business partner, whatever it is. And those are great things. But ultimately, we are responsible for our own actions. Responsible for our own destiny. We're responsible for what we want to do in life. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's just being accountable to ourselves. So if you're going to be lazy, I think the message for today is don't be lazy. Be lazy at an Olympic level. Be the best lazy you can be. Take that time so that the next time you step foot on the playing field that is life, you're not just better, but you feel more like yourself, more powerful, more able, and more in a position where you can do what you want to do. Hey, Serge, glad you were able to make it, buddy. But that's definitely the message for today is that take the time that you need so that you can do what you have to do because no one's going to do it for you. And that's a reasonable request. But go out there, have fun, enjoy the day. And I'll be back tomorrow with more crazy nonsense. And hopefully I'll be fancy as well. So see you later, guys. Have a great night. And I'm going to go do some live comedy.